Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Well, today's Wednesday. Whizzo 5 albums that I'm going to be playing, probably this evening. I hope this camera is going to last for you all. So I'm going to make it as quick as I can. So it's 5 again then. First one I'm going to be playing today at some stage is Robbie Robertson's first solo album. Fabulous album. This was released in 1987, and I don't think a lot of people realised how great of an artist Robbie Robertson is. Produced by the legendary Daniel Lanois, and you can hear Daniel's influence all over the album. He's got that way that he can manipulate the sounds using the studio as an instrument, really. This has got everybody and his uncle on it, as probably most people will realise. It was a huge success. The first track, Fallen Angel, has got a wonderful vocal performance and keyboard performance from Peter Gabriel. It's got some great drumming from Peter's drummer at the time, Mano Katché, who's a fabulous drummer anyway. But the guitarist who's throughout the album is this guy called Bill Dillon. Great guitar player. So the first track on the album, Fallen Angel, and you know when you hear that track, it's very reminiscent of what Gabriel was doing at the time, but with Robbie Robinson's wonderful vocals on there. This camera is starting to break up a little bit. Oh, here we go again. Sorry about this. So I'm being very gentle with the thing. So in many ways, that's starts the album off, and you know what you're going to get: beautiful, melodic, great. Well, they're not pop songs really, but they've all sorts of elements in there. Shadow at Big Sky is another great track. I'm still mucking about with this camera, folks. Sorry about this. And that's got again Daniel Lanois on there, very reminiscent of Daniel's sort of guitar style on there. Uses a lot of slide guitar on that one. Broken Arrow is it's a lot of people's favourites on here. That's got Terry Bozzio on drums. That is a fantastic drummer. Again, Peter Gabriel's on that one. My God, this camera. It's just not having it, is it? So Broken Arrow then, that's with Peter Gabriel on there once again. Hopefully it'll sort itself out here. Sweet Fire of Love, well that's the one with U2 on there. The whole of U2 actually are playing on that particular track, which is very unusual for and it was written with them as well, so it's a good track, you know. Yeah, it's very good, you know. I mean, there's you can hear Bono on there, you know, but no, it's a very nice track. Turn the thing over, and you've got American Roulette again. Terry Bozzio on there, Bill Dillon. But this time you've got some great bass playing by Tony Levin on. Really likes that. However, the one that turns up on keyboards is Garth Hudson from the band, um, which I thought was a nice touch. And then you've got Maria McKee on there as well, singing along with Bourdain's and Robbie himself. And then following that, you've got um, probably the most popular track from this album, which is Somewhere Down the Crazy River. How brilliant is that track? Absolutely fantastic. You've got some amazing um, drumming from Manu Katché, brilliant Tony Levin on there, but it's the only chord guitar of Landwehr on there. It's brilliant. And then you've got those haunting backing vocals by Sammy Bourdain on there. That was certainly played on MTV. That video, because it's a very sort of atmospheric video, and I think that's the main track that you can hear Landwehr's influence on the album. Brilliant, brilliant track. Hell's Our Faker. That's another really, really good one. Um, Again, some great playing by Manu and Tony Levin on there. Wonderful, wonderful track. Sonny Got Caught in the Moonlight is the next track there. And again, we've got Rick Danko from the band. So although he left, the band had gone, still big mates. So you've got Rick Danko on there, yeah. Bill Dillon again, great guitar playing on there. And then the final track has got, again, the Whole of You 2 on there, Testimony is the track. So you've got the Whole of You 2, you've got Ivan Neville on background vocals, wonderful, wonderful singer. Great, great stuff. And then you've got the Jill Evans horn section on there. So again, that they finish with everything but the kitchen sink on there. Great, great track. Hopefully that will sort itself out now. Good. Okay. This was a huge success, and in many ways, I think it's probably his first and his most successful solo album. This is a great, great album. It really is, and by me reading out the people that are involved in the album, you know it's going to be good with the quality of the musicians on there, and it is a great album. If you don't know this one, I would strongly urge you to try and check this out. It's very, very good. Great melodies. It's the people that are brought into the album bring out, or Daniel Landwehr anyway, brings out the best in people. He's one of these producers that when he works with people, he brings out the best in them, and not least this one. This is a great achievement by Daniel Landwehr. This great, great songs. There's not one weak song on this album. Strongly urge you to check this one. Okay, so the camera's holding up for now. This album is by a legend. That's the only way you can describe it. However, when he brought this album, I think it out in the 70s, this was a bit of a surprise for everybody. It is jazz, but it's jazz using one of the first vocoders at the time. I'm talking about the magical, the legend Herbie Hancock. This does not get a lot of mention in his wonderful back catalogue. I love this album. Look at the amount and the array of keyboards that Herbie is using on here. Let me just show you that again. Fantastic image. But the thing is that the Herbie is using the vocoder to create the sound of his voice. And the big one on here is no doubt about it. It's just fabulous. I Thought It Was You. It was a huge hit. And quite right too, because it was the first time that anybody had used that vocoder thing. There's Herbie there. and they even give you a rundown of the keyboards that he's using on there for any keyboard whizzos out there. But when you check out who's on it, my life. I thought it was you. It's the first track and it takes up the majority of the first side, but you've got some amazing guitar playing from Ray Parker Jr. before he went on to do all his soundtracks and form radio. Amazing. And then you've got Come Running to Me, which is the final track on the first side. Paul Jackson on bass, Bill Summers on percussion, and James Levi on drums. Amazing track. Absolutely brilliant track. The title track, Sunlight, again, it's Ray Parker Jr.'s guitar. It's fabulous, fabulous stuff. You know, it's very funky and very laid back in a lot of ways, but very upbeat and dancey as well at the same time. You've got No Means Yes, which is a second track on the second side, with Harvey Mason on drums, again Paul Jackson on bass. Some great stuff there. But the my favourite track is Good Question, because check this out, you have got Tony Williams on drums and the mighty Jaco Pastorius on bass. It is just an extraordinary album, this one. You know, and we are talking 1978 when this came out. And on the back of this album, both Jaco was already working with Joni, but Herbie went to work with Joni on the Mingus album. This is just a fabulous. If you like great funky music, with obviously a jazz, because that's what he is a jazz legend, then this album's for you. It is so brilliant, upbeat. I thought it was you. It's just a Good Question. It's just, there are amazing tracks. Amazing album. Let me just show you that image again of Herbie there. Fabulous album. So that's my second choice then I'm going to be playing today. Love this album. Third choice. This chap doesn't get the love and respect that he deserves. People know who he is, you know, in the guitar fraternity. I'm talking about the magic, the wonderful Leo Kottke. This is one of his last chrysalis albums, and this is called Guitar Music. The first side and the third track on it is a thing called Side One Suite. Absolutely extraordinary piece of music. It takes up the majority of the first side. It's just the way he switches from different tones and quality of his guitar is truly amazing. It's played solo with the Gibson J5. Those people that guitar musos is using a Lundberg Martin 12 string, and that's it. He's on his Todd. There's no one else on it. That's his signature back there. I don't know if you can see that. Just about. The first side, Perforated Sleep. That's a beautiful song. This album is dedicated to Lowell Lehman, who was a great guitar player. The second side then is made up of 8 wonderful pieces of music, but he does a version of All I Have to Do Is Dream by the Everlys. Wonderful version of that. He doesn't like his own singing. He doesn't make any punches about that. I think he's got a great voice, very deep, resonating bass sounding voice. Tumbling Tumbleweed is another great piece. And then the album ends with Sleepwalk. What a track that is! Fantastic. This is just we're talking virtuoso guitar playing here. You know, really, I've said this on a few occasions. There's not many players from an acoustic point of view that are as good as Leo. I mean, he's 75 now. He hasn't lost any of it. If you go on other places on YouTube, you will see how good he is. He's just starting to play again recently, and it's brilliant. He's not lost any of it. And the great thing about Leo, he does not take himself seriously whatsoever. He could be a stand-up comedian. He's so funny, Because what he tends to do is give a monologue before he starts a piece, and the monologues are very funny, and that's what a lot of people like about him, because he's such a funny guy. But what a great player! What a great player! This is one of his finest albums, actually, and this came out in 1980. Well, it was recorded in October and December 80, and actually was released on Christmas in 1980. Truly great album. It's got lots of different forms. There's jazz, traditional Americana, bluegrass, folk, bit of blues on there, but proper sort of popular arrangements of great tunes. Like I said, All I Have to Do Is Dream, and then Sleepwalk at the end. Fabulous stuff. Great album. So that's my third choice for today. The legend, another legend, Leo Kottke, guitar music. So fantastic. My fourth choice then. This artist is now at last becoming, a revered artist. When he was in his prime, shall we say, hardly anybody bought his music, but people know who he was. And I'm talking about the magic Roy Harper. This is from 1990, and it's called Once. This is a truly fabulous album. The title track is just extraordinary. The lead guitar playing from David Gilmour is just fabulous, and the from the magic Kate Bush. She doesn't get about on other people's albums that much, but my life, she is amazing on this album. Wonderful track. Mark Felton's on harmonica. How to describe to you what once it's a very Floydy sounding piece of music, which you would expect, I suppose, with Gilmour being on there. But it's such an emotional. It starts off very gently and then just builds and builds and builds. It is just fabulous piece of music. Running, Nowhere to Run To. Again, it's a very atmospheric and very controversial song, that one, which Roy, if you know any of his material, is not afraid to tell you what he thinks about controversial subjects, and in this case, it's hunting. The big one that he got a lot of shit for was the Black Cloud of Islam. I'm not going to read the lyrics on here because they're very controversial. Go and have a listen to it if you can somewhere yourself. It's probably one of the most controversial songs, along with I Hate the White Man, that Roy has written. Fantastic. If is a beautiful, beautiful love song. Wind of Change, that's a nice little number. And then another big track on here with some, again, some great guitar playing from David Gilmour is Berliners. And this came out not long after the wall came down in Berlin. This came out in 1990. The wall came down, as probably all aware, in 1989. And he puts his thoughts on that to music. Wonderful, wonderful song. Sleeping in the at the wheel. That's another great track. His son's on here. Nick Harper's on here. Another great player in his own right. Tony Franklin on bass, who went on to join Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers in oh dear, what are they called? That'll come to me as well. It will come to me in a minute. For Longer Than It Takes, again, that's a beautiful, beautiful song. Again, there's some fantastic playing between him and his son Nick on that song. Really, really nice. And then the album finishes with Ghost Dance. Great, great song. This album was released on a great label, I thought. Unfortunately, they don't exist. Andy Ware was the man that ran this small record firm called Awareness Records. Lovely, lovely chap. Unfortunately, it had to fold after a while, and it was very, very sad that when it went. The album cover, just to give you a link to Kate Bush, that cover and all these at the back there were taken by Kate's elder brother, which I thought was a nice touch. John Carter Bush, so that's Kate's eldest brother. She's great on it. I mean, I would strongly urge you, if you can, it might be somewhere on YouTube, I don't know, the title track once. If you like your Floyd, if you like Kate Bush, then you're going to love that track. Very atmospheric, very Floydy in its sound. Great. This is a great album. So this is not one of his classic Harvest period albums. This is later. This is 1990. This came out. I'd strongly urge you to try and check out how easy or difficult it is to get on vinyl. I'm not sure. I think it's quite difficult now, but I know that Roy. Let me just show you that there. There you go. Roy has re-released some of these things on CD now, so you might be able to get it from his website. Strongly urge you to check that one. Okay, my last choice for today is just certainly my favourite from this tremendous band. And I'm not going to play around with it. It's Bebop Deluxe and it's modern music. This is just absolutely fabulous. If you like your prog rock, your your straight ahead rock, science fiction rock, call it what you will, this album's for you. This is truly a work of genius. This is Bill Nelson and the boys at the top of their game. Let me just let me show you that first. Sign me, lovely, lovely touch. He's a legend. That's the only way to describe Bill as well. The first half of the second side is taken up by the Modern Music Suite. That is probably one of the greatest pieces of music that the band, in my opinion, put together. The way it just merges into each section of the piece is amazing. Way ahead of its time, because when the thing starts, It's made up of a multitude of different sources of voices, radio broadcasts, uh, from, it sounds to me like the 50s, the 60s, and maybe just before this album was released in '76. There's even John Peel on there. And then the music just kicks in. It's just a great thing. Although the different sections of the piece are listed, they just merge into one another. So the modern music, it starts off with modern music, and then it goes into Dancing in the Moonlight, All Alone, Honeymoon on Mars, Lost in the Neon World, Dance of Uncle Sam's Humanoids, and then modern music reprise. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. And then the other couple of tracks on this side are Forbidden Lovers. I think that was a single. Great song. Down on Terminal Street. There's some footage of that with the. It's a great sing along, that particular track. And then the album ends on the second side. I haven't spoken about the first side yet. With "Make the Music Magic." Well, it's a magic track. It's fabulous track. Okay, the first track on the album then is "Orphans of Babylon." Um, when this came out in '76, it was so ahead of its time. Um, they'd had the previous album, Sunburst Finish, was a great success, and in many ways, I think that was probably the most popular album that they had. Ships in the Night was their big hit, or popular tune, one might say. That they got onto top of the pops and things. But the guy that was championing this lot was definitely Bob Harris. They did 3 or 4 sessions on All Grills Test, and they're all brilliant, all brilliant. So that's the opening track then. Twilight Capers, great song as well. Kiss of Light. Now that was a single. That should have been a hit. Great chorus, very well put together, very rocky and upbeat. Great track. The Burt Chalmers Destiny. That's like a little refrain before Gold at the End of the Rainbow. Brilliant. And then I think this was a single as well. Bring Back the Spark. Fabulous album. This album was influenced by Bill and the Boys doing their first tour in America, and his love of science fictions, because it's effectively science fiction influenced this. The band are made up of Bill Nelson, who when he was with Bebop, was the guitar player and percussion. Then you got Andrew Clark on keyboards, who went off once the band folded to work with David Bowie. He's on a couple of Bowie albums. Charlie Tumahai from New Zealand. What a fantastic bass guitar player and a great singer as well. Fortunately, he's passed away. And then Simon Fox on the drums. Brilliant stuff. But it's Bill Nelson's band, Wonderful album. If you've not heard this, you're a bit of a prog rock sort of admirer, then I would strongly urge you to try and check this one out. This is a wonderful album, and the watch there, you see that watch that Bill's holding, that thing there is an image of Axe Victim, which was the first album that they'd done 4 years. 2 years previous to that. Sadly, they did another. They managed to produce another album, so a studio album, and then they folded, unfortunately. Great shame. 4 amazing musicians. It's not really, really great stuff. So there we are. Those are my 5 selections. So the 5 Wednesday whizzo albums then. Okay, this camera, and I'm amazed it's held out for the duration, apart from that little um, snippet at the beginning of the thing here. Please let me know what you think. And if you've got any questions about any of the albums I've shown, and you may be not aware of them, but you want to check them out and you want some more information, then please let me know, and I'll try and answer any questions that you may have. Okay, stay safe, everybody. We're still not over this COVID malarkey thing, so we've still got a bit to go yet before we get back to some sort of normality. But either way, stay safe. Have a great day. The snow's melted here now, so the sun's starting to come out. I've just come back off my bike, so I've had a lovely morning. That was nice. And the Biathlon World Championships are starting in about an hour and a half, something like that. And it's the men's individual 20k. So I'm looking forward to that. Good. Okay. Have a great day, everybody. Let me know what you think of this. Like I say, put any negative, positive, whatever you want to write. Just let me know what you think. Okay. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.